It was lunch break at school. 3 students were sitting together and eating. One said, "My mom gave me an apple." The second said, "My mom gave me yogurt." The third said, "My mom gave me cake." Just then a quiet boy came and asked, "Can I sit with you?" One student asked, "Did you bring your lunchbox?" He softly said, "No." One girl said, "We don't sit with poor kids." The boy replied, "I'm not poor." But they all got up and left. He sat there alone and quiet. Later in class, he was still sitting alone. The teacher came in and asked, Why are you not with the other kids?" He said, "I'm fine here." She asked, "You didn't bring lunch again?" He said, "I'm not hungry. Please don't worry." The teacher took money from her wallet and said, "Go buy something healthy to eat." The boy said thank you and smiled a little. After he left, the teacher checked his school bag and found it empty. She became worried. She searched his file and found his father's number. She called him. His dad answered, "Good morning." She said, "I need to talk about Matthew." He asked, "Is something wrong with him?" She replied, "Not really. He's a good boy, but he never brings lunch and stays quiet. I check his bag and it's always empty. If you need help, I can give some money." His dad said, "But I pack his lunch every morning myself." The teacher said, "That's strange. Maybe he eats it early." His dad replied, "I'll talk to him and send more food on Monday." That evening, his dad asked Matthew, "Did you eat your lunch today?" Matthew said, "Yes, but I ate it before school. I was really hungry." His dad said, "If you eat early, you'll be hungry again during break." Matthew said, "I can't wait. I feel too hungry in the morning." His dad smiled and said, "I trust you. I'll pack more food from now on." On Monday, he packed a big lunch and dropped him at school. At break, the teacher asked, "Did you eat?" Matthew said, "Yes, already." She said, "Don't lie. I didn't see you eating. Your dad promised to send food. Show me your bag." Matthew tried to hide it. The teacher said, "I'll call your dad." Matthew said, "Please don't. He always gives me lunch." She asked, "Then why don't you eat it?" He said, "I give it to someone else." "Who?" she asked. He didn't answer. She called his dad again and said, "He gives his food to someone else." His dad said, "Tomorrow I will follow him." The next morning, Matthew's dad followed him quietly. A little girl was sitting alone, looking hungry. Matthew sat with her, smiled, and gave her his lunchbox. She said thank you. The teacher and father were watching from behind and felt proud. Later in class, the teacher came with his dad and said, "Matthew, come here." She asked, "What does kindness mean to you?" Matthew said, "It means helping someone who needs help." She asked, "What does sharing mean?" He said, "Giving what you have to someone like my friend Sophia." The teacher told everyone, "Matthew gives his lunch to Sophia every day." The whole class clapped and came to hug him. His dad hugged him too. The next morning, his dad packed 2 lunchboxes. Matthew asked, "Why 2?" His dad smiled and said, "One is for your friend." Matthew hugged him and said, "You're the best." That day, he gave the lunch to Sophia again. She said, "Thank you. I wish my dad was like yours." Matthew smiled. The teacher came and said, "Let's go to school." Sophia said, "But I can't read." The teacher said, "Don't worry, I'll teach you." At school, the teacher covered her eyes and said, "Open them now." There was a big welcome sign for Sophia. She smiled brightly and hugged the teacher. Matthew gave her a teddy bear. She said thank you, and they walked into school together. Let's teach our kids love, kindness, and care. If you like this story, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to press the bell icon.